Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. I am Lord Forwind, here playing as Mao's Communist China. We're in alliance with Chiang Kai-shek's China and the Guangxi clique and the Yunnan group fighting Japan. So we have been rebuilding our military. On the other hand, Finland is losing land? I don't know. I don't really know what's going on up in Finland. All I know is Denmark's doomed. The British have been kicked out of Cairo, which all, interesting enough, is happening about the exact same time. The Brits are rebuilding. Free France is also trying to rebuild. The Saudis, the Turks, and everybody else could really care less of what's going on. Iceland's independent. Bulgaria, oddly enough, hasn't actually fallen under anyone's control, which is interesting. Yugoslavia, though, on the other hand, is going to die soon. Romania is hanging in there. Hey, and Hungary has yet to actually join the Allies, although that will change really shortly. I think I'm going to take the infiltration tactic. Just so I can start infiltrating China if I want to. And again, too many guys into that regiment. Both really want to start an offense, and I don't, because I know if I start an offense, the casualties are going to be horrendous. But at the same time, letting Japanese rebuild their military seems wrong. But I have a year, about 2 years, until the Japanese may or may not attack the US at Pearl Harbor, in which case all bets are off. Chiang Kai-shek is kind of forced conscription to rebalance his military for now. We still have more population right now because we have servants by requirement, but we've lost a little bit. But the sheer amount of troops we're starting to produce now is a bit ridiculous. They're at 128, we're at 62. I would like to outpace, have more troops than Nationalist China before we actually push an offense. Appropriate a little bit more land, because why not? Pretty much free land in the long run. Some of our provinces have quite a few unlocked slots. Plus we actually have a fair amount of planes in this region. Or did. Soviets have a group there, but I don't think they're actually doing anything. Oh, they actually are to some degree. Soviets 150. Cool. Let's say once this guy hits 28, we might consider offense. You know, I'm just going to cancel like 5 of these. I don't really need this many production lines. Since I'm only getting 33 per day because we're having to rebuild our capacity due to reforming our gun. On the other hand, the new gun is a lot better. The Sing Zhao MP18. There's that. It's just taking us a long time to apply all our troops. Ooh, is that an offense? No, that wasn't an offense, was it? Darn. I'd like to see some change in the war down here, but we're not particularly equipped for offense. All of our advisors are pure defense ones. Let's see, all the Japanese casualties. About half of them are due to us, who's actually lost less troops. We've actually lost a fair amount against Manchukuo. Interesting. For such few amount of divisions, they've inflicted a disproportionate amount of casualties. How many factories am I up to? I'm curious. 16. Well, let's at least be able to infiltrate Chiang Kai-shek's regions if we want to. Oh, Hungary has joined the Axis. Romania just lost land. Hungary has gotten stronger. So what will that do to Romania? I wonder. Yugoslavia has joined the Allies. They're doomed. Orthodox Church support, though. They're going to have a lot of political power for the little amount of time they're left. How many troops are the British up to? 40 and 70. Germans, 100 something. Italy, somewhere around 100. Free France, 15. Well, at least they're taking over some of Vichy France in Africa. Although I wish they had had the luck of retaining this region. Apparently not. Oh, we're getting fighters from somebody. Why are we getting fighters all of a sudden? It's not clear, we just have a reserve of fighters all of a sudden. Okie dokie. Let's deploy the fighters and deploy them to my region, I guess. Defend it. From bombers, because that's our big threat. I don't think there's actually any troops in this entire region, but... No, let's try an experiment. Let's try directing both of my... Can I do that? Now let's leave them in my capital region, otherwise they're just going to keep bombarding my lands. Although I don't really need you to do anything, do I? Yeah, halt. Standing by, perfect. Don't need a volunteer army. Purchase tanks would be nice. Soviet designer. That's when I get a 4 light tank, 2 light tank, 4 motorized. That would be nice. Let's do elite mountaineers for the moment, though. Maybe even more planes all of a sudden. Now let's research at least Great War Tank. Why do I still have more planes? Oh, I don't. It's just not doing anything. Okay. Well, that's fine. I just want to control this region overall. Our fighters lost accidents. Yeah, that can happen. On the other hand, less damage we take to our infrastructure, the better we are in the long run. Fine with that, but it wants us to produce a fighter. We don't even know what a fighter is, honestly. Great. We can infiltrate them, though. Infiltration successful. Uprising will have the following effects. Infrastructure and military factories will be sabotaged. I don't think we really want to do that. Prefer if they form these militia divisions. Oh, even more troops have been thrown under this guy's leadership. Look, buddy, like you, but we gotta send troops to the other guy. Chiang Kai-shek really wants to start an offense. Oh, as these guys have fortified as well. Not happy that I'm suffering so much attrition though. All bad supply penalties. Okay, well let's give the order to start preparing. Should I use Mao's troops? Oh, we should use Mao's troops, honestly. Try for that. That will just mainly use troops from this area, not this whole area. You go to that group. You, on the other hand, will give the order to march to there, give or take. Give or take where the front line actually ends up. How many troops are we at now? 60 something, I'd imagine. 67, they're at 137, they're at... Okay, they're about to join the ally, the Axis. So that'll be positive news for us, because if they're dumb enough to start that fight, I'm good with letting them attack the US and the Allies. Keep them out of trouble. Put it that way. Keep them out of trouble. On the other hand, I think it would be nice if we actually invented a fighter. That isn't that obsolete, but that's all we're stuck with for now. I would like jet stuff, but that's miles away. Years and years and years away. At least production-wise we got stuff going. Still don't know what artillery is, we still don't know what tanks are. Get rid of that for the moment. Need to pay off this debt, this deficit for a while. 63 days, yes, but it'll last a lot longer. Besides, once I have a stockpile, I can always throw it into building more units pretty quickly. What do people think of the plan? Superior enemy. Okay, how about you? Division still planning large river crossing. So right now it's saying I shouldn't attack. I guess that's fair. Chiang Kai-shek is, though. And losing large troops because of it. Idiot. $4.6 million though, that's crazy. Once he goes down the democracy tree at all, that's a problem. What happened there? Oh, that finished, okay. I don't mind doing that, because then that would allow me to get to a socialist market economy. Recovery from the long march would be nice. Do heavy weapons. Get closer to getting support artillery in the long run. Appropriate a little bit more land. Build another military factory, I guess. We're actually making this pretty poor territory in the middle of nowhere quite the military construction center. Given time, of course. It's going to take us a while to get there. Honestly, I could probably switch away from service by requirement. Go to extensive conscription. Actually, I could get even further, couldn't I? I definitely do not want that. More production, a surplus, yes. Not having any production at all, no. Another division. I'm going to go out on a limb and say these guys have seen virtually no combat, right? Yeah. They've seen no combat, really. Not like these guys who are veteran soldiers and all that. Bullfighter would be nice to gain for sure. There's a lot of hills in China. More than one would suspect. A lot of hills. Although these are mountains. But hills, 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 hills. Let's see, these guys went communist. Did anyone in the south go communist? I'm curious. They're going fascist, or were. They're staying neutral. Free France is building up there. Free France doing? Well, not too terrible. They've dealt with their mutinies. Oh, they've actually managed to push Vichy France out of all of southern Africa, and apparently they're winning in North Africa too. That would be a victory if they kicked out Vichy France. England's building aircraft. What's the US up to these days? Because got about a year till they're attacked by the Japanese. Oh yes, because Japan is now in the East Asian Prosperity Sphere or whatever. They're not actually part of the Axis anymore. But they are guaranteeing each other's independence. I guess that's a clever way of the designers to get around that weirdness of it all. So now when the I don't know. If the Japanese attack the US, will that call the US into the war to defend the Japanese? Or did they do Pearl Harbor and then the US attack the Japanese? I'm going to go on a limb and I'm going to guess that the game will have the US attack the Japanese. That'll start it all off. I can't figure out where that small the inks are. Okay, well we're about to get some more troops on the field. And then it might be time to consider a bit of an offense. We have 70 divisions. Oh, Germany has attacked the Soviets, which means our Soviet support has just appeared. Great. Good luck, Soviets. You're going to have to hold out. And it's going to be one heck of a fight. Specifically, their officers' purge is just going to cripple them for a while. They've got almost 2 million troops they can spend in the war. The Germans don't. So. Ooh! Unternehmen Barbarossa. 5% attack against the Soviets removed in a year or so. Interesting. Apparently they've added a lot little cool little modifiers into this. Interesting. Free France is definitely kicking out Vichy France at this point. Italy is totally dominating North Africa though. Trotsky was assassinated. What a surprise. How are the British doing overall? How's Queen and Country doing? They've already done military training and all that, so they've got their full military support behind them. I don't know if it'll be enough though, they just don't have a huge population. They've got a lot of factories though. Compared to Italy, they could definitely take out Italy. They definitely have a lot of aircraft. They're almost on par, I would say, with the Germans. In terms of their fleet, though, they are definitely the dominant force in the ocean. The U.S. will be once they intervene. Romania has attacked Bulgaria. That's going to be the end of Romania. Looks like the Soviets are winning versus the Germans. Interesting. They've already done extensive conscriptions, so they're going to need more there. Kind of curious to see how this will go. Marxism with Chinese characteristics. Good. I suspect the Soviets are just overwhelming the Germans who aren't in position right now. Question is, how will end up? Would the Germans drive out the Soviets? Or vice versa? Soviets have less air power, but have more troops on the field, that's for sure. It really comes down to how many tanks do they have. Look at that front. Speaking of fronts, I should actually look over here at China, see how we're doing. We're doing pretty well, but not much has changed. Okay, well, that will be it for me for this episode, and next time we will continue our war against imperialistic Japan, driving them back into the sea, hopefully. So, thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.